Overlooking the Pacific Coast Mountains, there's a ski resort where fantasy rules. 2 million people come here every year. Some come to play, and some come to stay. Among them, a tenacious event promoter taking on the town.
I started the World Freestyle Snowmobiling Association, which is behalf of a day in our...
A rising young artist who doesn't mind getting down.
It's a really nice contrast to what I do during the daytime.
A British tour operator living the Canadian dream.
It just feels good. It feels right to be here.
They're dreaming of big air, passion and romance, monster fame, and major fortune. These are their stories. Whistler Stories. At the home she shares with her boyfriend, Chili, Kelsey Nash, a sculptor, is doing some pieces for a local gallery.
I learned how to use a chainsaw of my dad when I was about 12, so I could collect firewood. So since then I've just sort of taken the firewood cutting to a different level. I'm going to pump out a couple of bears hopefully today.
A native of Australia, Kelsey is hoping to carve out a living for herself in Canada.
Whistler itself is quite a unique place with a lot of really interesting characters. Met some really good friends here, and there's a market for what I make as well, right? People who have money and they don't mind spending on little luxuries. So also the environment's really, I find it really stimulating. It's a very outdoors town, so yeah, I find it a really stimulating place to be.
British tour operator Mark Knight can afford to take some time for himself this morning. His 39 guests are back at their chalets, packing their bags to go home.
Being the last day, I've got a few hours this morning now just to get out. All the fun's going to start this afternoon with the buses coming in and getting everyone down to Vancouver and into the airport. The next 3 days are going to be mayhem. There's going to be people coming and going, questions constantly, sorting out all the lift passes, any problems that people have. So that's the hardest part of the whole week. So this is really a little bit of time now just to get prepared for all of that and just relax mentally.
There we go. That's what we've got here. What we're seeing is a little bear. It's got his head up here. It's his little forehead, as you can see on these guys. Got the little sort of round part that characterises a bear. His nose, we'll cut that down a little bit in here. And what he's doing is looking off to the side, this guy. A lot of them are just looking straight forward. So we've got his legs coming in here, and there's where his chest part will be, and his little hands will come down either side. And what I'm seeing is $450. They don't really take that long to pump out, but I guess some people would say my hourly rate would be a bit out of control if I was charging by the hour, but for what I do, considering you lose limbs and bits and pieces, so I was cutting through a piece of wood, and the wood caught on the saw, and my whole hand went through with the piece of wood. So here I am standing here. I didn't look at it, and I'm sure that something's missing, for sure. And the first thing I do is, well, stick my finger in my mouth. So I get on the phone, I ring Chili, because he was living here at the time. We were living separate. And he came out, and we found the little bit of finger after about 20 minutes of searching. So the tiniest little bit, like from the finger on up, from about there, from the fingernail up. And took me into the medical centre and charged me $500, saying I have medical, and to have my finger sewn back on. But yeah, I looked pretty savage because I had blood all coming out of my mouth from my finger, but it was an interesting experience. But unfortunately, the thing didn't take, and it had to be taken off about 4 days later, which is a lot more painful. So we'll knock on some wood that there won't be any more accidents.
If all else fails and you don't have nail polish remover, try a steak knife.
Linda Stang is getting psyched. Today, she's pitching her extreme snowmobile competition to Whistler's Municipal Council.
I love myself today, not like yesterday. I'm cool, I'm calm, I wanna be a star.
has found something in Whistler he didn't expect when he left England to work here. A home.
This place has got everything, really. It just feels right. I love the place. It just feels good. It feels right to be here.
Mark will eventually have to leave if he stays with the tour company. So this summer, he is striking out on his own, opening his own tour operation.
If this was to work out and to all take off nicely, then it could mean residency in Canada, and this would stay as my permanent home.
But right now, Mark has to hustle down the mountain. The bus will soon be arriving for the run to the airport.
Okay. My name is Linda Stang, and I started the World Freestyle Snowmobiling Association, which is behalf of a day in our... Which is a day based on... Okay. This is going to decide my career, so I'm pretty nervous. I'm not nervous about the presentation, I'm just nervous about them saying no. I have started the WFSA based on...
Be a fat-nosed little bugger, this one.
With her rough cuts complete, Kelsey heads into the studio to finish the carving.
I grew up on a walnut farm, so it's a really practical background, and we always had access to wood. So I basically started cutting the wood and eventually just started making shapes out of it. And the shapes got better and better, and they started to take form. And eventually we stopped burning the shapes and started selling them. And so that's how I got started in sculpture. Give them some nostrils. It's definitely lopsided. We need to take a bit more up in here. Well, I guess this is Papa Bear and this is Baggy Bear. These are two of the finished product. They're both red cedar. And yeah, hopefully they'll both be going to a store to be sold soon.
I've always been good in public speaking. Actually, in grade 8, I won the public speaking contest. The only thing is when I got up in front of the auditorium, in front of like everybody from kindergarten to grade 8, I had my whole speech memorized, and I choked in the middle of it. I had it completely memorized. It was awesome in front of my class, but when I was up before, like, I don't know, like 8 classes, I choked and ran out of the room, ran to the bathroom and cried because I just forgot the speech all of a sudden. Yeah, especially when people make faces at you and stuff. It's a little hard to concentrate, right? But I don't think any of the council members will be doing that.
Mark is preparing for the trip to the airport when there's a problem.
Today we should have the new lists coming in. We need the list because it basically tells me who's going into, well, who's coming in first of all the names, and which flights they're on, which is a pretty important one for today.
Mark has to call England. The problem could cause complete chaos at the airport because he won't know who the new guests are and how many are arriving.
Yep, thanks a lot then. Bye now. So someone's having to pop back to the office. Of course, you've got an 8-hour time difference back to the UK as well. So someone's left the office and then realised and they're heading back there, and I should have that quite soon.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Cassie has time for a quick bite with chili and their roommate feet before she heads into town for her moonlight gig.
Spring roll. Go-go dancing tonight, heading into Tommy Africa's. It's a nightclub in town that I started working in about a week after I first arrived here.
first night I got here, I went to the club with a friend who was bartending there and saw this amazing looking lady, Ace McKay, who's a good friend.
Very lovely. Right?
Yes, it is. And just chatted with her, and she was like, yeah, you know, we need some girls. So I was like, okay, I'll try out for you. And I had a tryout night, and been dancing there ever since.
She's by far the best dancer I've seen around, so if anyone's going to go dance, it might as well be her. And she's heading in with Ange, another Aussie girl who's an excellent dancer, so she'll go in and have some fun, get some exercise.
And there's no problem with all the drunken men hanging around.
She's more than able to take care of herself.
I can regulate, no problems.
The bus is arriving for the trip to the airport, and Mark Knight is still waiting for a list of incoming guests.
So we've got it. It'll make today much easier.
And just in the nick of time.
Okay, bus is here. People are already starting to get on there, so load up and off we go.
This is good that I write this down. This is way better. Trying to memorize stuff is just not working. Sheesh. Okay. Let's try this again. I mean, it's just the introduction here. Ladies and gentlemen and members of council, no. We do not instigate snowmobiling, but we cannot ignore it. Ladies and gentlemen and members of council, it is time that we acknowledge snowmobiling backcountry awareness.
How you doing, Mel? Good. See you again, buddy.
Mark is confident this batch of guests is leaving with their Whistler dreams fulfilled. He's counting on return visits and referrals to launch his venture.
Wait for the airport, Bill. Wait for the airport.
Thank you very much. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, I certainly feel confident about how it's all falling into place, and just hopes it all works out as smooth as this week has been. If you've really looked after them, you've really got on with people, the chances are they're going to be more interested in coming back to see you in the summer.
Well, this is my room. Chili and I both had separate rooms just because we're separate people and we wanted different things for different rooms. Like if I'd brought all this stuff into Chili's room, it would have been pretty overwhelming for him, I think. So we got disco night tonight at Tommy's, which is quite good fun. Got to pack basically shiny things for tonight. We've got the disco balls, the disco ball helmets, which are always a big hit. These guys are going in tonight. They're very, very good entertainment. Everyone seems to really like these guys. Oop. Not that comfortable, but they look good. So we've got these guys going in. And then we've got all sorts of shiny bits and pieces, which are good. Things like this, which are very disco, really.
Quite a few little things on the way down. We'll try and point out for those of you awake. Otherwise, sit back and enjoy the ride. 5 years, where would I like to be? I'd like to be in Whistler, living in one of these nice houses that they've got here, but we'll see what the future holds on that one.
But for now, it's turnaround day, the longest day of the week.
Really, I'm just sort of waiting to see what's going to come my way today. It's an airport day. You never know what to expect.
So that when they walk in, it's in their face.
Linda Stang has 20 minutes to sell Whistler Council on the competition. She's billing it as a chance to promote safety.
So before I start my presentation, I've all put a fact sheet in front of you so that you can follow the presentation as we go. We do not instigate snowmobiling, but we cannot ignore it. Ladies and gentlemen and members of the council, it is time that Whistler acknowledges a Backcountry Snowmobiling Awareness Day. This is the event spot, Lot 4B. We will start with the staging area and then Sea to Sky Backcountry Committee. I have 35 letters of support that I've gathered, which are solid letters of support, which are before you as well in this package. I've been living in Whistler for 4 years now, and I too am a backcountry recreationalist, and what I cannot stand to see is people abusing our backcountry, throwing their garbage, everywhere, not picking up after themselves, and abusing our trees. Also, there's one thing I just want to show you briefly that I also find disturbing. If people are promoting this in snowmobile magazines, children as a family kind of snowmobiling activity, where does that leave us in Whistler? If we can take one piece of information from this event day and pass it on to a parent that they can educate their children with, we have done our job. In my conclusions, if we are the #1 ski resort in North America, wouldn't it be great if we were the #1 ski educational resort destination in North America? Thank you.
Oh, well, everyone, this is the lovely Angelina. Hello. Woo. And we're off to Tommy Uppers for a bit of disco. Ball fever.
Will you sit down and
Dude.
so we
Oh, Chili's got the...
Oh,
50.
no! Then we decided we were going to wear.
Yes.
But we've got the disco ball helmets here
This is a
tonight.
very good start tonight, so we make ourselves pretty first.
Yeah.
You know what, Angelina? I don't think you need an afro tonight even.
Okay, thanks.
But I think it's just about time to get
Oh, yes.
naked.
That's mucho.
But that Chili has our bifty, has our joint for the night, so hopefully you're up by now.
Totally.
And for those at home who don't know, weed is part of Whistler's culture. I think everyone should deal with that.
Back at the Municipal Hall, it's the councilor's turn.
Linda, could you tell us, please, what the 9 maneuvers are that these athletes will be undertaking?
Yes. Heel clickers, no-handers, Supermans, one-handed Supermans.
How do those maneuvers relate to the riding skills that would be required for snowmobilers in the backcountry?
What I'm trying to teach people is you need control over a snowmobile. It's not about big air, who can go bigger and who's better. This is what's preventing the deaths. We want to show that you don't need to go big, you can have fun, but be technical, because it's a piece of machinery.
This is how we do it.
In basic?
Every Thursday night, disco eruption. We get the funk going with the disco ball heads, the chronic, and the funk to put the proper back party, you know what I mean?
That's what I like to see. Everyone, may I introduce you to DJ Velvet?
DJ
A lovely
Velvet.
DJ for
Velvet
the
K, if
disco
you want
night
to
at
the
Tommy
whole
Uppers.
moniker.
Would your event be viable if there was no media coverage?
Viable meaning, sorry.
Meaning, would you still go ahead with it?
Well, to be honest with you, sir, I respect Whistler. I could do that, but it would defeat the purpose of everything that I'm doing.
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't be fair to let you go without letting you know that I personally have difficulty with the expansion of the snowmobiling in Whistler. I don't believe that events such as yours that are going to promote snowmobiling are appropriate at this time. Does anyone want to put forward a motion?
At Whistler Municipal Hall, Linda is waiting for the verdict on her extreme snowmobile competition.
It would appear that council is not in support of the application, and so I recognize the effort and time and energy that you have put into this. But I think they've addressed many of their concerns.
I grew up being a little showgirl in my family, so kind of just moved on to this thing. And I get paid for it here. And it's a really nice contrast to what I do during the daytime. It's a fun thing too, though, right?
I'm stunned. I mean, you have to imagine spending 2 years on a project that your heart, energy, your soul, all the money I made waitressing spent on this whole deal for this day. And then for council members to decide on your life is just ridiculous, you know? Like, I've got so many letters of support from higher up people in this town that people totally support what I'm doing. And then all of a sudden, 7 council members decide on your life? I mean, if they would have told me this in the spring, I wouldn't have bothered going ahead with organizing everything. And here I am now in February, for Christ's sakes. I'm supposed to get this thing turned off in like 2 months, and they've done this to me, and it's just ridiculous.
At the end of the evening, Chili arrived to drive the dancers home.
What a night, eh? Bag ladies extraordinaire. Oh, nice one. We had fun. Oh, yes. Excellent. Fun. Yes, flying to Timbuktu. Timbuktu. Perfect. Thanks, ladies. Good night. Good night. See you later.
Linda may have suffered a setback, but she is not prepared to let go of her dream.
I'm going to fight to the bitter end, because I think this is what Whistler needs. This is what they should have. And a lot of people are behind me on this.